Good afternoon. Welcome to the Aria Project. I'm very excited today to present all of our students in the class who were both involved in Panic Room, the opera that we produced last week. And now we're going to show you individual music videos that they have created from their own repertoire. They created the audio files, which they then combined with a video file. So what you're going to get is the best of their possible singing and then some creative music video that they've managed to sync together. I love this project. I think being online has forced us to be creative in ways that we never knew we could be. So without further ado, I would like to show you their work. I'm very proud of all of them. The first person today, our student Barrett Bassinger, is singing the song The Girl in 14G by Janine Tesoro. So I would like to have her talk to you a little bit about her project. Barrett, could you tell us what inspired you to pick this piece and how did you come up with the ideas that we're going to see in this video?
Sure. Well, I actually picked it because you suggested it to me, Susan, but I've been a huge fan of Kristen Chenoweth for pretty much as long as I can remember. So I've known this song for a good 15 years now. And I think process-wise, I'm lucky with this song because it's a narrative, so it lends itself really well to this kind of project, this sort of, music video style project. So yeah.
Terrific. Well, without further ado, let's see the video.
Just moved in to 14G, so cozy, calm, and peaceful. Heaven for a mouse like me, with quiet by the leaseful. Pets are banned, parties too, and no solicitations. Window seat with a garden view, a perfect nook to read a book. I'm lost in my Jane Austen when I hear say it isn't so, not the flat below. From an opera wannabe in 13G, a matinee of some cantata, Wagner's Ring and Traviata. My first night in 14G, I'll put up with Puccini, brew myself a cup of tea, crochet until she's feeny. 8:30, not a peep, except the clock tick-tockin'. Now I lay me down to sleep, a comfy bed to rest my head, a stretch, a yawn, I'm almost gone then. Do we la do twa do do spinning boy boy bleeblin na 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 na. Woo! Now the girl upstairs wakes me unawares, blowing down from 15G, her reveille. She's scatting like her name is Ella. Guess who answers a cappella? Zoot doo doo floated away. Toot toot a floated on. I'm not one to raise my voice, make a fuss, or speak my mind, but might I query, would you mind if, could you kindly stop? That felt good. Stop! 13, 15, 14G, a most unlikely trio, not quite three-part harmony. All day, all night, we're singing. Do-do-do, flood-a-doy, a zee-bop-doo-doo, blood-a-doy, stop! Had my fill of peace and quiet. Shout out loud, I've changed my diet, all because of 14G.
Thank you so much, Barrett.
Thank you.
I love the way that had to have been a little complex, the editing those bits and pieces together.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I had hours of footage that all came down to that, I think 4 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that. It's a much bigger process than I had anticipated, but it was really fun.
Yeah,
Genuinely, it was fun to explore those characters, and yeah.
and I'm hoping that's the way everybody feels about the pieces that they chose. I would invite the audience to make comments and ask questions, but we're going to ask you to certainly write them now, but we will answer them when we've played all of the videos, so we make sure we get through everybody's special project. So thanks again, Barrett. Our next piece is Morgan Cairns, soprano. She's singing a piece by Richard Wagner called Schmerzen from the Wesendonck Lieder. So Morgan, please tell us a little bit about this project and how you came up with this piece and how you devised your video dream, your creation.
Okay, sorry, husband. So I mean, we've been working on Wesendonck for a while. It's honestly my favorite piece to perform. And I felt like during the semester with everything going on, the lyrics, really spoke to me on what we're going through right now and during a pandemic. So I think I wanted to take more of a serious turn. And I feel like this gave me the opportunity to kind of express some emotions and feelings that I was feeling in the past 2 semesters being in quarantine. So I think that's the main reason we picked this piece. And we have such a beautiful island and I love nature. So that was a no-brainer for picking this one.
What do the words say?
It says, sun rises each day and dies. I go through a lot and I'm going through a lot and I feel so many agonies. But if the sun can rise and die each day, so can I. Thank you, nature.
Yes.
That's really the meaning.
Beautiful. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your video. Thank you.
Sun
Thank you so much. That was wonderful singing, and I loved to see the setting that you chose. Really wonderful, very creative. Thank you. All right, our next piece by Jinchi Tsuo is Se ben crudele from La Costanza in Amor Vince l'Ingano by Caldara. So, Jinchi, talk to us a little bit about the meaning of this piece, why you chose it, and why you put it in the setting that we're about to see.
Well, my piece was taken and twisted from an aria, but lately people know it as one of the 24 Italian song. So the whole piece is basically about, although your cruel love makes me feel sad, I will always love you. This song experience is exactly what I want to say to music, even though I experienced a lot of setback while learning music. What I need is to give the music more patience, love, and belief. This is why I pick up this song.
Beautiful. Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing your video. So, Brad, when you're ready, we are ready to hear Se ben crudele. Bravo, Jinchi. Lovely. I'm loving all these outdoor shots. We're missing that these days in this time of the pandemic. Um, okay, so our next piece is a song from She Loves Me by Jerry Bach called Vanilla Ice Cream. I would like to invite Elizabeth Zotto to come and tell us all about her project.
Hi, everyone. So as Susan said, I picked Vanilla Ice Cream from She Loves Me. Vanilla Ice Cream was one of those pieces that I always wanted to learn and never really got around to. So when this project, I was like, oh, this is perfect. In the stage version, it's usually set in a bedroom, which I thought great, perfect, very homey. And while just coming up with different ideas, I kind of ended up in my living room and got a few shots outside and stuff like that. The general premise, so it makes sense, is I left it in context. So I play a girl named Amalia Balish, and basically she's been writing letters back and forth to this anonymous guy, dear friend, and they've been falling in love. And the night before, they were supposed to meet, but in her eyes, she got stood up. But what ends up happening is her dear friend shows up, but it's her coworker George, who they have a love-hate kind of relationship going on, and George finds out it's her and is like, oh no. And he feels bad for quote-unquote standing her up, so he brings her vanilla ice cream. So this piece is Amalia writing an apology, being like, oh, I'm sorry, last night was a mess, but then also kind of thinking about George, realizing she's kind of in love with the same person, but she's feeling torn in both directions. So, yeah.
Let's hear Vanilla Ice Cream. Takes us a couple of seconds to get those videos up and running, so everybody be patient.
Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way. But together, you and I will laugh at last night someday. Ice cream. He brought me ice cream, vanilla ice cream. Imagine that! Ice cream! And for the first time, we were together without a spat. Friendly, he was so friendly. That isn't like him. I'm simply stunned. Will wonders never cease? Will wonders never cease? It's been a most peculiar day. Will wonders never cease? Will wonders never cease? Oh, where was I? I'm so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way, but together you and I will have it last night someday. I sat there waiting in that cafe, never guessing that you were fat. Ooh. That you were near. You were outside looking bald. Oh no. Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. Last night, I was so nasty. Well, he deserved it. But even so, that George is not like this George. This is a new George that I don't know. Somehow, it all reminds me of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Where right before my eyes, a man that I despise has turned into a man I like. It's almost like a dream, and strange it may seem, he came to offer me vanilla ice cream.
Brava! Really wonderful. Tell me, how did you get those little text boxes in there in that video? That was
Um,
interesting.
so I edited using iMovie, but I use this app called Procreate to do like digital art sometimes. So it has a little animation feature. So I did kind of like a frame by frame, little really short animation and exported it and imported it into iMovie to get those little things.
Well, you guys are so creative. I love it. Wonderful. Make us all proud. Okay, now we move on to our next piece on the program. Cuando lejos, muy lejos, by Leon. And our singer today is Gabriela Rodriguez Cruz. So, Gabriela, tell us about your project and tell us a little bit about what you're singing about. Are you there?
Hi. So,
There you are. Okay. So, feel free to tell us about your project whenever you're ready.
okay, sorry. I think things are buffering on my end. My apologies. Um, yeah, so I've chosen a song that I started learning last year, and of course, it was when the arrival of COVID happened, and I think for that reason, it left. Can you hear me?
Yes, in and out, but we're getting it. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. um, so it's been a year since I've worked on this. I was assigned to it and then COVID happened, and I think that's why it left a huge impression on me. And so when we had this opportunity to choose our own song and to kind of work our way through this project ourselves, I decided to revisit this piece because the translation is "when far, very far," and I think the lyrics capture a feeling of a lot of yearning and longing, and that seemed really appropriate for the things we're experiencing now. And I wanted to try to capture that feeling as well as I could in this project.
Wonderful. Well, we look forward to seeing it. It's set where? Tell us about the setting. Inside, outside?
Oh, I filmed it completely outside in a park that's like 15 minutes away from where I lived, and I had the fortune of having my sister help me record, so I got to use different settings in the same park.
Wonderful. We look forward to it. So when you're ready, Brad, please play our wonderful video.
yo cuando la noche tienda su manto, yo que llevo en el alma sus mudas huellas, te enviaré con mis quejas un dulce canto en la luz temblorosa de las estrellas.
Brava, Gabriela. It was wonderful. It looked beautiful. Um, Tell me a little bit, and I know what we can talk about. This pertains to everyone, but the recording of the voice, which we know you've lip synced for the video. Tell us, how did you combine those things together? Did you have help? Did you what program did you use? I'm curious.
I filmed my audio through GarageBand, and I had a pre-recorded version of the accompaniment by itself. So I had those two mixed together, thanks to our audio engineer, Jake,
Mhm.
and that was able to create a more seamless sound. And so that it didn't sound like those two audio tracks were from different spaces entirely. And
Yes.
then I filmed the video by having that mixed audio playing on a different device. And then it was a little embarrassing during the process because I was in a public space and I was like, I couldn't just lip sync because then it would have been extremely out of sync and it would have been obvious. So I was literally singing in the middle of the park and I definitely saw like a few head turns, like kind of confused as to what was happening. But I think it was like worth that embarrassment in the end because it looks a little bit more authentic this way. And then I put the two together in iMovie.
Yes, absolutely. It looked more authentic. And isn't it interesting how self-conscious as performers we can become in any venue? Nerves are part of the performance business, right? Well, thank you so much. All right, we'll move on to our next artist now. We have a piece from Scarlett Pimpernel called She Was There by Frank Wildhorn, and our singer is Andre Gulick. So, Andre, tell us about your piece and tell us about your project.
Yeah, so this song is from the Scarlet Pimpernel. It was based off of a hugely successful 1905 book by Baroness Orczy, and only became a musical in the late 90s. But uh, the story surrounds Sir Percy Blakeney, who's an English aristocrat, and his wife Marguerite Saint-Just, who's a French actress. And the main conflict surrounds how she betrayed his best friend to the French authorities, and he gets executed by the guillotine. So he makes it his kind of mission to save as many people as he can from the guillotine. It's a very kind of interesting story, but eventually, as the show progresses, he realizes that she had good intentions, and their relationship had grown cold because of that. But he realizes how much she means to him, and how much he misses her. So this song is kind of the climax of that. And I didn't necessarily take the story into my performance as much, but uh, yeah,
In other words, it wasn't in context as the character, you were creating your own vision for the text.
right, yeah, not
And
necessarily.
what kind of environment did you choose?
And yeah, the text is very nice and picturesque. So I kind of used that and filmed outdoors, um, to kind of reflect the text of it. Um, but
Wonderful.
yeah, yeah.
Terrific. Thank you, Andre. Okay. Brad, when you're ready, let's hear She Was There.
So many nights I have stood in the moonlight, watching it fade into dawn. Wanting her back with me warm in the moonlight, knowing that moment was gone, out of mind, out of sight, till the moon rose tonight. All at once I felt a chill. In a spill of moonlight she was there, though we both held very still. There was something moving in the air when she whispered through the dawn. I tried hard to hold my ground. I believed I had a choice, till the music in her voice turned my whole world around. I would like to understand, but the stars and I began to blur. If she never touched my hand, then what filled me with the feel of her? In between us stood a wall. In a flash it fell apart. Is it possible she heard every last unspoken word racing out of my heart? She never turned to me, but suddenly we had so much to share. I never took her in my arms, but she was there. Oh, she was there. No, I never pulled her in. Still her tenderness was everywhere. Oh, she slipped beneath my skin, just as if she'd always been right there. Had she been there all along? Was I too far gone to know? What a fool I must have been, for how could I pull her in when I've never let her go?
Bravo. Thank you. That was really beautiful. I love that you had two different times of day in that shot. And you had some interesting angles from the side, from actually below, it looked like, looking up at you. Who was doing the filming? Was it another person that was with you?
Yeah. Shout out to my dad. He helped out a lot with the filming. But yeah, I kind of wanted to illustrate like the agony of all throughout all times of of the day of his life, how much it is burning at him. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Great. Very creative. Thank you so much. Okay. For our next artist, we have an aria from Fidelio, O wer ich schon mit dir vereint, by Beethoven. So Leon Kellman is our soprano. Would you please come and tell us about this aria, tell us about the text, and a little bit about your creative process?
Of course. So Fidelio was Beethoven's only opera that he ever wrote. It's a rescue opera where the main character Fidelio is actually a woman named Leonore in disguise, and she's trying to infiltrate this prison so that she can rescue her husband, who is being kept in the depths of the prison. So the aria itself, it's one of the first pieces in the opera. And my character, Marceline, she is the daughter of the jailer, and she has fallen madly in love with Fidelio and has no idea that Fidelio is actually Leonore. So this whole entire song is pretty much just her talking about how happy she is to be united with him, and or how happy they will become when they are united and can be husband and wife. when it came to the video for this, at first I started with just doing one long shot all outside and one continuous thing, but then I decided that to better convey the text, because it is in a different language, it might be better to do something else. So I tried to stick with the themes of the text as best as I could, through what I filmed. But yeah, I'm very happy with the outcome. And then for the text itself, again, she just starts with "Oh, we're already united with you," which is what "O wäre ich schon mit dir vereint" means, the title of the piece. And the chorus is a repetition of her singing "The hope that already fills my breast with inexpressible sweet pleasure, how happy I will become." The second verse talks about quiet, peaceful family life, which I try to convey with my pets, as you will soon see. And then she goes back to repeat the chorus again about how happy she will become.
Wonderful. That's a lovely breakdown of the entire work. So, without any further ado, we look forward to hearing your aria from Fidelio.
In Rue, ich stehe,
Brava. Really lovely. You know, you shouldn't be working with animals if you don't want to be upstaged.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that they're upstaging me. I love them and they need their chance to shine too.
I'm just teasing you. It was lovely. It was really cute. Thanks so much. Okay, now we go on to our next piece. A piece from Sweeney Todd, Not While I'm Around by Stephen Sondheim. We have our singer tenor, Joseph Stroppel. So, Joseph, tell us about your project.
Hi, Susan. I picked this song because I think Sweeney Todd has always been one of my favorite musicals. And I got to be honest, at this point, with the way my voice is maturing, I don't think I'll ever be able to sing Sweeney Todd the role. But I think that some of the other tenor roles in the show are actually very interesting and very, very meaty and very fun to sing as well. Some of Sondheim's most beautiful melodies, in my opinion, are in the show, including some of them, including Joanna, and especially Not While I'm Around, which is the one that I chose to sing. The way we shot the project, we wanted to shoot it as a literal scene rather than like an impressionist music video, because there is dialogue between the two characters, Mrs. Lovett and Tobias. So we shot it in the basement, my mom and I. My mom played Mrs. Lovett, and to provide like a really dark, moody feel. And yeah, I think it really turned out well. I think I was very happy with the results.
Well, terrific. We're all looking forward to seeing it again. I think I remember you presenting it earlier a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, these are tough projects to pull off. There's so many things involved, including the lighting, the space, other performers involved, and then trying to coordinate those audios as well. So just again, to everybody in class, just a Herculean effort. Thank you so much. So without further ado, let's hear Not While I'm Around. Joseph Stroppel.
Look, dear, a lovely muffler, and guess who it's for?
Cool, Mom. For me?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Oh, you're so good to me, Mom. Sometimes when I think what it was like with Signor Pirelli, it seems like the good Lord sent you for me.
It's just me warm heart, dear. Room enough there for all God's creatures.
You know, Mom, there's nothing I wouldn't do for you. If there were a monster or an ogre or anything bad like that was after you, I'd rip it apart with my bare fists, I would.
What a sweet child it is.
Or even if it was just a man.
A man, dear?
A man. What was bad and what might be luring you, all unbeknownst into his evil deeds like.
What is this? What are you talking about?
Nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around.
Of course not, dear, and why should it?
Nothing's gonna harm you, no sir, not while I'm around.
What do you mean, a man?
Demons are prowling everywhere nowadays.
And so they are, dear.
I'll send them howling, I don't care, I got away.
Of course you do. What a sweet, affectionate child it is.
No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare.
I know what Toby deserves.
Others may desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there.
Yeah, have a nice bonbon.
Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing can harm you, not while I'm around. It's him, you see, Mr. Todd. Oh, I know you fancy him, but men ain't like women. They ain't what you can trust, as I've lived and learned.
Not to worry, not to worry, I may not be smart, but I ain't dumb. I can do it, put me to it, show me something I can overcome. Not to worry, Mom. Being close and being clever ain't like being true. I don't need to, I won't never hide a thing from you, like
Now, Toby dear, haven't we had enough foolish chatter? Come, let's just sit and be quiet for a bit here.
That's in your Pirelli's purse.
What's that? What was that, dear?
That proves it. What I've been thinking. That's his purse.
Silly boy, it's just a little something Mr. T gave me for my
Mr.
birthday.
Todd gave it to you. And how'd he get it? How'd he get it?
Bought it, dear, in the pawn shop, dear. Come on now. Nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. Nothing's gonna harm you, Toby, not while I'm around.
You don't understand. 2 quid was in it, 2 or 3. The governor giving up his purse with 2 quid. Not for a minute. Don't you see? It was in Mr. Todd's parlor that the governor disappeared.
Boys and their fancies, what will they think of next? Here, dear, sit down by your Aunt Nellie like a good boy and look at your lovely muffler. How warm it's going to keep you when the days draw in. And it's so becoming on you.
Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing's gonna harm you. Not while I'm around.
Bravo, Joe. That was really wonderful. And tell your mother how much we appreciate her contribution there. When I was did your father video that? So tell us how that happened, because I noticed you had different angles that cut in and out on that video, and I was just curious how you made that work.
So yes, my dad videoed it. He put the phone on I think it was like a monopod. He was carrying it, and basically it was like a selfie stick pretty much that he put it on. And so basically we had this black backdrop, and when the scene was on my mom, we had to move it to one side. When the scene was on me, we had to move it to the other side. So we were constantly shifting between different parts of the basement to shoot the different parts. So it was a lot of work, but I think it was worth it.
It was worth it, and it's a wonderful video for you guys to have for your personal archives for whatever you might want to use them for going forward. Really great work. Thank you so much, Joe.
No problem.
Great. So now we go on to Depuis le jour from Louise by Charpentier. And Foley Brown is our soprano of the moment for that video. So Foley, please tell us about your project.
Hello, everybody. First, I just want to say you guys in these videos, showing out. I just had to say that. But yes, Depuis le jour was already an aria that I've been working on as a part of my audition rep. And I just love the storyline. I love the opera itself, even though the aria is more famous than the opera. But the video, I wanted to kind of play upon the naturalism of the piece, because in French opera at the turn of the 20th century, that was kind of the subject matter that they were writing off of. That was the motivation. And so I wanted to use a lot of natural light, plants, garden, things of that nature.
Wonderful. Well, we can't wait to see how you've created this beautiful aria. So, Brad, when you're ready, let's hear Depuis le jour. I'm glad you caught that. Otherwise, we were going to hear Being Alive before Depuis le Jour. Okay. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right with you.
Le jour où j'ai besoin d'appeler.
Brava, Foley. Thank you so much. Beautiful singing. And what a wonderful piece. Isn't it great now that we can go onto the internet and find these Music Minus One orchestral tracks? It just makes it so much more fun to sing these wonderful, big, beautiful arias. So thank you so much. That piece really did take on a lot of different faces before you came up with that last video. This is the first time I'm seeing it as well, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, our next piece tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, is another piece by Stephen Sondheim from Company called Being Alive. And our singer is Peter Richardson, tenor. So Peter, please tell us a little bit about your project and how you came up with your creative vision.
Okay. I have a really bad internet right now, so if I disappear, I'm really sorry. But so far so good. I really like Company, and I didn't really know what exactly I wanted to do. I was torn between going with this piece or another piece, but I ended up going with this piece because it was kind of easy to do, especially in a pandemic. And it was more like focused in on like this internal struggle about wanting to be close with someone, but not wanting it at the same time. And I feel like that also translates to the pandemic, not being able to be close with people. And so I ultimately went with this piece, and I found it pretty easy to do the piece like in my room and everything. I had a hard time like uploading it, as I told you, but it is what it is, and that's that. So.
Well, it's a wonderful piece and one of my favorite Sondheim songs, so I'm looking forward to seeing your creative work. So here we go with Being Alive.
Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive. Being alive. Somebody need me too much. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support for being alive. Make me alive. Make me alive. Make me confused. Mock me with praise. Let me be used. Vary my days, but alone is alone, not alive. Somebody crowd me with love. Somebody force me to care. Somebody let me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being alive. Being alive. Being
Bravo! That was wonderful, Peter. And there's something to be said for simplicity. In a piece like this, it works so beautifully. So I think your vision was spot on. So for our next piece, we have an aria from Così fan tutte. It's In uomini in soldati by Mozart. And our soprano is Anna Wysekal. So please, Anna, our soprano, please tell us about your project.
Okay, so I picked the aria in Uomini in Soldati, because I related a lot to Despina, who is the character who sings this aria. Um, in Uomini means in man, and in Soldati means in soldier. So basically, Despina is singing to the two sisters in the opera about how all men are unfaithful to women. So women should be unfaithful to men, and that, basically it should be equal. Um, and so, um, excuse me. So, um,
Well, tell us about what, and sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. It seemed like maybe you'd come to the end of your
Oh, no, no. I wasn't sure if you wanted me
to.
to go to full into the opera or if I should just
Well, I think we get the gist of it. So when you're talking about the men, are you trying to encourage the women?
Yes, so she's trying to like persuade the women to go after the two Albanian suitors, and that they should basically cheat on their fiancés, and that it's okay, and that they should use their feminine charm.
All right, good. Well, tell us about your personal project and how you envisioned your creative ideas with this aria in film.
So I unfortunately did not have two sisters to sing to, so instead I decided to sing to a portrait of a man to kind of symbolize what the aria itself is talking about. So, yeah.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much. We'll look forward to it. So, Brad, when you're ready, we will hear In Uomini in Soldati.
In uomini, in soldati. Sperare fedeltà. In uomini sperare fedeltà. In soldati sperare fedeltà. Fedeltà, fedeltà. Non mi fate sante carità. Non mi fate sante carità. Dei posta semine son tutte quanti. Son tutte quanti le fronde mobili, l'aria incostanti, ampio delle omni, stabilità, mettete lacrime, fallaci sguardi, noi ce la neve invece bugiardi, sono le primore, la qualità, sono le primore, la qualità, in noi non amano che a letto, poi c'è da sprecciano, ne cascia affetto, ne vada barbari che derbeto, ne vada barbari che derbeto, che derbeto, che derbeto. Piegano femmina tua come netta, che stavi all'effica rasa indiscreta, ogni un per comodo per vanità, ogni un per comodo per vanità. Ogni un per comodo per vanità, la 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 la, ogni un per comodo per vanità. Ogni un per comodo per vanità, la 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 la, ogni un per comodo per vanità, ogni un per comodo per vanità, ogni un per comodo per vanità.
Brava. Thank you so much, Anna. It seems that you took that aria in a very pensive mood. It's kind of a thought process versus actual talking to, which was effective. So thank you so much. And now our last piece for the presentations, and then on to questions and or comments from our listeners. The last piece of the day, an aria from Puccini's Turandot, Tu che di gel, Tu che di gel sei cinta, sorry, Tu che di gel. So when you're ready, Brad, please play our aria by Ksenia Stepanova. All right, I'm going off mute. Thank you so much. Ksenia, I didn't have you speak before, so let's have you tell us now about your project and why you chose this piece.
I just chose it because I love Puccini. I love music, his music, and I just love this aria. It's very challenging though, but I just decided to challenge myself. And
well, it was a very interesting vision. Where did you film this, and how did you come up with the costuming and whatnot, and who was helping you? Who assisted you?
So it was filmed in Connecticut on cemetery, actually. And my idea was to make two characters. I know the character of Turandot is more complicated, but I just try to stick to something simple. So I tried to present her as a cold, like very proud and, like hard to get to person, like the mountains and the forest and snow. It was like all like to show that. And Turandot, which is like loving, caring, very gentle, and ready to sacrifice herself person.
Well, this particular aria is sung by the character Liu, correct?
I'm sorry?
This particular character is that sings this aria is her name is Liu, and she kills herself,
Yeah.
I believe, at the end of this aria to keep from revealing the name of Kala,
Yeah.
which is a very dramatic
Mhm.
thing. So, well, thank you so much for that. This has been a wonderful
you.
presentation. I want to give a big hand to all of the students who just did an amazing creative force amongst you. It was just wonderful to watch each one of these videos one after another and see how you've tuned them up. We've been working on them in bits and pieces all semester along with our opera presentation, which we did last week. So I'm very happy with the outcome, and I hope that you all learned a lot and enjoyed yourself in the process. I'd like to invite any comments or questions from our listening audience, if there are any. And I'll
Thank
turn
you,
it over.
Professor Gonzalez.
You're quite welcome. Thank you, Morgan. Wonderful output. So, Malika, if you're there, I'm sure you can.
Yes,
let us know.
we do have one question from YouTube. This question is from Mitchell, and it's for Morgan. He says, you had a very interesting sound to your recording. What software did you use, and how did you achieve that?
My husband is playing a really funny game right now. I've been punked. All right, we used Audacity actually, which was a lot of work, and we were up all night together, and it was really fun kind of collaborating with my husband, who is really into technology, and I'm not that great at it, so it was really a blessing to have him help me. So thank you, Mitch.
Wonderful. Do we have any more comments or questions?
That was my only question. I did want to shout out to all of the family productions and all of the videos tonight. So much support for all of our singers. There's been so many lovely comments about how beautiful you guys are singing, how comedic some of your videos are, and how tech-wise and how creative you guys are getting with all of your pieces. All of that is in our YouTube live chat if you guys want to revisit them. There's a lot of people have been impressed with all of your work. It's been amazing.
Wonderful. Now they would be able to watch it with their families and friends later by using the same link that they use to view this show, correct?
That is correct.
Wonderful. Well, thanks to everyone who came to join us today. I can't see you, but I feel you. So we look forward to seeing you in person, I hope, in the fall. And we already have our musical theater opera workshop underway in terms of planning, and we have a wonderful master class with several singers coming in to work with us. So we look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you so much. Bravi tutti to all of the singers. Good evening.